Hey everyone, I'm Jen Sheffer, digital learning coach here in Burlington Public Schools, and I am super excited to be giving you this detailed training tutorial on Flocabulary. This is for those of you who've never used Flocabulary before, and it will be extremely detailed, so I hope you are ready and excited. I would encourage you to please pause the video at certain spots so that you can go ahead and follow along with me. Before we get started, I just want to mention Flocabulary is part of the Nearpod family of products. It is designed to engage students in their learning and promote critical thinking skills as well as their creativity. So to get started, you're going to go into ClassLink and you're going to see an icon for Flocabulary. When you click on that, please keep in mind it's taking you to the web version of Flocabulary and there is no app. So we're going to be using a full web browser version or website, if you will, of Flocabulary. Your students will be also using that version, and it works beautifully on the iPad. There are no technical issues with using this website on an iPad. So from here, we're going to log in with our Google account. You're going to select your school Google account, and it's going to bring you into your Flocabulary dashboard. So we're going to dig in here, and we're going to start in the upper right-hand corner with our account. So I do want to make sure that it says plus next to your name. When you see that drop down, you're going to see my classes. So that's where we're going to start. So I'm going to click on classes, and you should see classes that you have set up in Aspen. And you're going to be able to sync your classes roster from Aspen into Google Classroom and Flocabulary. They're all going to talk to each other. So you don't have to manually add students or anything like that. So you would set up your classes in Google Classroom, and then you can import a class. So if you're a third or fourth or fifth grade teacher and you have not used Google Classroom yet, reach out to me. I can get you started with that, and then we can sync your classes so that you can start assigning in Flocabulary, and those assignments can go directly into Google Classroom. So for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm going to be using my Nearpod for Beginners course, and I'm going to show you how I would assign a Flocabulary lesson through Google Classroom. So those are my classes. I already synced my roster, so you would just go ahead and click on sync. You're going to choose your Google account once more. It's going to prompt you with this box letting you know the sync has occurred. That little red notification was saying that there may have been students who signed up as teachers. If you have any issues with that, let me know. I will resolve that for you quickly. So the roster has been synced. I'm going to go back to my name and I'm going to click on my school. You're going to just see your one school that you're associated with. So make sure that that is accurate. If it's not, let me know. You're also going to see my analytics. So I'm looking at all schools. You're going to see just your school, but you're going to see all this fantastic data that shows you exactly how your students are performing on those lessons. And that's really critical information to share with parents, with your administrator, with your evaluator, really good knowledge for you to have. And then you're going to see your profile, just making sure that that is all set. And then this is very important in your profile, is to turn on the immersive reader. The immersive reader is going to allow you and your students to have text read out loud. You can adjust the text size and styles and fonts. You can add the translations. Your students will be able to have the translations in whatever language that they speak. In certain activities are going to have that immersive reader available to them. So we'll take a look at that as we go through this tutorial, and I just want to make sure that you enable that immersive reader there. Once you've done that and you've checked all your account settings, you're good to go. So we're going to go ahead and click back on the Flocabulary icon. And now you'll see here we have lessons, the drop down. We have language arts, math, science, social studies, all our major subject areas, as well as life skills, vocabulary, current events, and then Nearpod originals. Within each of the main subject areas, we have subtopics. So we have reading and writing, research and study skills, so on and so forth. You can look through here and see all of those subtopics in each of the subject areas. So if you know you're going to be doing something on U.S. history, you can go ahead and click on that. And another way you can search is right here where it says, what do you want to teach? You can just search by keyword. You can also click on standards. As I mentioned earlier, Flocabulary and Nearpod are two of the most widely used educational technology platforms in the country, and they are standards aligned. So this is high quality vetted content. This isn't just somewhere on the internet, right? So we have everything aligned to our standards, also broken down by our ELA and our math standards. You can access all the same things that I just showed you under lessons if we go across the top here: language arts, math, science, just another way to navigate looking for lessons. But I often encourage folks to just click on the magnifying glass and start typing a topic. Last spring, we were piloting this with third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade. We were learning about earthquakes. So we're going to search for that in just a moment. But before I do, how to use, I'm teaching you how to use Flocabulary, so you don't need to go there. If you'd like, you're certainly welcome to. Your classes, you just want to make sure all those classes are synced. We're going back here. We're going to be searching earthquakes in just a moment. But before we do, I want to just scroll down real quick and show you that you can also access current events lessons here, or we can switch to the week in wrap. Those weeks and wraps are written and produced by elementary students. So if you have some ambitious elementary students that want to research the week and submit a wrap, please let me know. They could be featured on this website. The name of the school and our city and state, Burlington, Massachusetts, would be featured, and that would be amazing. So please let me know. So we have current events. We have recommendations on lessons. We have recently watched, so it tracks what you've watched in the past if you want to reassign something that was successful in the past. And then you can star in favorite lessons. So your favorites will be here. And then we also have month to month. So they do a great job staying current on what's happening. So feel free to come down here for your first Flocabulary lesson. So we selected earthquakes, and we're going to go ahead and hit enter. And then we receive all the results. So we have a grade band of who it would be appropriate for. And if we like one, we want to check it out. This is the one we did. I'm just going to go ahead and click on it here. If you do any assignments, you're going to see those assignments listed here. So you can see I have one assignment on this lesson, and that's from my BPS PD course that I was playing around before I created this tutorial. So we're going to add another assignment in just a moment. So when you open the lesson, it starts with the video. Every vocabulary is going to start with a video. You can preview the lyrics here. If I click, I'm going to see all these lyrics, and I'm going to have the accompanying audio here. If I want to play the audio, I can. I have that immersive reader now. So if my students click on this, they're going to have the ability to have this read aloud to them in their language. So once I go into my reading preferences and I change this to, I know we have a lot of students who speak Spanish, so I'm just going to quickly jump to Spanish. And then I'm going to select by document. It's going to change the whole thing into Spanish. And I can play it. Great. I could slow that down if I'd like. Here, I can change it to male or female and slow it down. If I am ready to go, I'm going to go back, and that's how we would quickly use the immersive reader. It's fantastic for our students. So I've looked at the lyrics. I can go ahead and click that X. If I want to have discussion questions automatically appear throughout the video, I'm going to turn this on. I would recommend watching the video first one time without this feature, and maybe the second time we turn it on. So questions will appear, as I mentioned, throughout the video. I can simply turn that on or off. I can also adjust the speed, and this might be something you want to do because they do speak fast in some of the videos. So for the students to really hear the lyrics articulated, they may want to slow it down. We have 3 options for speed here. You also have a related lesson underneath as a preview, something it might catch your eye, and you could star that. You can see here that it's favorited. If I unfavorite it, I'm going to add it. Now it's going to be on my main dashboard. That's how quick and easy it is to favorite a lesson. So it starts with the video. The next, we have vocab cards where students can click on the card. There's that immersive reader. So it will read the word. It'll give the part of speech, the definition. It'll use the word in a sentence. And then the students, if you assign these cards to them, they'll be able to do either writing a word showing their understanding, writing the definition or using it in a sentence. Or some of your students may benefit from drawing the word, and especially if it's a scientific concept or if it's a math concept, they succeed when they can express their ideas in writing. So again, built-in ways to differentiate for our students and make everything accessible to all learners. It's built right into the platform. So those are your vocab cards. Next, we have a vocab game. As the students answer questions, different instruments are going to be added, and a musical beat will be the end result after they've answered all the questions. You can also do this with or without music. We can start with music. If the students don't like it, they can simply turn it off, as I did here at the bottom. It could be a distraction or it might be helpful. You may want to have your students be doing this with headphones, especially if they're doing it individually as a center or in small groups as a center. So they're prompted to drag the word to the right definition. If they get it right, great. They automatically get moved to the next word. If they get it wrong, I haven't gotten it wrong yet. If they get it wrong, they get that instant feedback, and then they're immediately told the right vocabulary word. So you can see here, I have 18 questions left in this particular game. The next section of a lesson is called Break It Down. This is new. So you can see here, there's some questions, fill in the blank. There's a question here where they have to go back to the video and they have to find where the video explains where most earthquakes occur. So they click on Create Video Clip, and then they adjust it to where they're talking about exactly how earthquakes occur. And then they can hit Save Clip, and that's it. So they're getting a lot of digital literacy skills built into this as well as they do these lessons. So this is a quick 3-question sort of check-in, if you will, and then they can hit submit. The next part of the lesson is called Read and Respond. So they have a passage, and then there are 6 questions. You'll notice here at the top, there are 6 questions, and this is for reading comprehension. Fantastic to prepare for MCAS as well, I have to say. Next, there's a quiz. So there's 10 questions. There's the immersive reader icon here. So those questions can be read to the student in their native language. So if I click on it, you can see not only the question, but also the possible choices can be read aloud to the student in their own native language. If I like that quiz, great, I can assign it. And then last but not least is the Lyric Lab. So the prompt for this is to write a rap with using at least 4 lines. This will save automatically for the students if they don't finish in time. And the last word in their line is going to, Flocabulary is going to generate a list of possible words that would rhyme. So you'll notice here, plates is the last word I used, and then Flocabulary gives me rhymes for plates. So again, a lot of creativity is built into this portion of a Flocabulary lesson because it's completely original, created by the student. It's a great group activity as well. And then your students could come up, they could perform them for each other. This is something they could put in Seesaw as well to share with families at home. Really great confidence booster and showing again that they understand the concept that you have been trying to teach. So those are all the components of every single Flocabulary lesson, but you do not have to assign every aspect of it. You can pick and choose what to assign based on even your individual students. So it's fantastic, again, for differentiation. We also have teacher resources here before we assign it. Just want to show you, it gives you the recommended grades, a quick blurb about what this lesson entails, the essential question, and some vocabulary that is related to this lesson. There's also handouts here. You could take a screenshot of this and put it into a Nearpod and make it a draw it activity so everything can be digital. You could, rather than screenshot, you could download it and then put it in as a draw it activity. The answer key is here as well for your students. If you need any help making this digital, please let me know. Certainly happy to help you do that. And then we also have the alignment to the standards. We can click here to find Massachusetts state standards and see where that's aligned to. So if we're ready to assign it, we're going to click on the purple assign. We're going to select the class that we want to assign this to. These are my classes. I can select all 6 students if I'd like, or I can just simply click and then I can pick and choose which students to assign this lesson to. But I'm going to go ahead and click on everybody to get this assignment. Next, I can select the activities and the dates that these lesson will be due. I would always recommend that the video is assigned. For your very first lesson, you may want to assign everything because you want your students to see every aspect and explain. We're not going to always do everything, but these are all the different parts of a vocabulary. You may want to ask what parts they really like too, to get some student feedback on which activities they enjoyed the most. I mentioned earlier that you can customize the prompt for the Lyric Lab, and here's where you can do that. So we can click on the customize prompt, and then we could add something like, you are able to write more than 4 lines. A lot of times kids say, can I do more than 4? Or can I do less? So you can give those specific instructions here. If we're going to make it visible starting today. It is a little clunky to change the visibility date. I'm not going to show you that in this tutorial. I'm just going to say, just realize that you'll see a draft of the assignment. You won't see it appear in the stream immediately if you don't make it immediately visible. Hopefully that makes sense. So we're going to make it immediately visible today, and we're going to make it due tomorrow. And we're going to toggle on share assignment to Google Classroom, and then we're going to click on create assignment. We're going to select our Google account. It's creating the assignment and it's sharing it to Google Classroom. You don't want to leave the page while this is taking place. Once it's done, you get a notification that it has been created and shared to Classroom, and you can look for that in the Assignments tab. It's now called, it's not called Assignments tab, it's called Classwork. So here's my Nearpod for Beginners class. I'm going to refresh it. And I should see the assignment here. As you can see, it has been posted, a new assignment via Flocabulary, earthquakes. So when I click on this, I can see the students as they finish it. So I'm going to go ahead and go back into my Flocabulary dashboard. And when I click on that main icon at the top on the left, again, I'll be able to be in my dashboard. I'll be able to click on my classes here. I can see, I want to view all my classes. There it is. I have one current assignment upcoming. And that's really all there is to it. You're going to see in analytics, once the students start submitting that assignment, you're going to see it's here. You're going to see when it has begun. And we can take a look at, if we click review, we're going to see, as my students complete it, a summary, and then we can look at individually how they do on every aspect of this, and then their comprehension analysis. So I have the individual reviews, and I can select an activity. So it's very similar to Nearpod's reports. So this is essentially the same as getting a detailed report, and I can go ahead and select which activity I want to see that analytics in that data for. And then I can also do it by individual student. So I cannot stress enough how fortunate we are as a district to have access to Flocabulary. Again, part of the Nearpod family, and it is so fantastic. It will engage all your students. It will promote their critical thinking and their creativity, keeps everything fresh and fun, and that's what learning is all about, really. So I really hope you will give this a try. I hope this has been enough detail for you, but please, if you need more information or you want an individual walkthrough, if you'd like me to teach a lesson and you observe, we can co-teach. I'm happy to support you in any way that I can. And again, please don't hesitate to start using this often and early. We are piloting it for grades 3, 4, and 5, and we really want to keep it. So please, again, don't hesitate to have us come in. and support you with using this fantastic application, or website, I should say. And I appreciate you spending some time with me and watching this video. I hope it was helpful. Please don't hesitate to reach out and give me your feedback. I appreciate you watching. Thank you.